Yes. We need to talk, and this time, it's for all the right reasons. Weak Hero Class 2 is finally here, and as someone who was obsessed with the raw brilliance of the first season, I had sky-high expectations. I wanted brutal fights, yes, but even more than that, I craved deeper storytelling. I wanted to see Si-eun grapple with the fallout, to experience real growth, real pain, and maybe, just maybe, real healing. And wow! Season 2 didn't just deliver. It wrecked me, then somehow put me back together. This isn't just a story about surviving the next fight, it's about surviving yourself, surviving guilt, loneliness, trauma, and somehow still finding the strength to care in a world that keeps trying to crush you. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into everything that made Weak Hero Class 2 not just a worthy sequel, but an unforgettable evolution. Disclaimer: this script has been written, rewritten, torn apart, and stitched back together more times than I can count. If it feels a little like a Frankenstein creation at times, well, that's because it is. Thanks for rolling with it. Season 2 doesn't open with a bang. No punches, no chairs flying. Just grief. Straight up emotional hangover. We kick things off with a dream, or a memory, or maybe just the kind of lie your brain tells you when you're not ready to face reality. Si-eun, Suho, and Byum-suk are laughing like nothing ever happened. Like they didn't get absolutely shattered. But of course, dreams don't last. They rot. And when Si-eun wakes up, it's to the same cold silence he's probably been waking up to every day since that night. Alone. Again. And that sets the tone. Season 2 isn't about school fights anymore. It's about what happens when the fight ends but the damage sticks around like a damn parasite. Si-eun is different. Not the mysterious badass, kind of quiet, nah, this is hollow. Like the lights gone out, and no one remembered to flip the switch back on. He moves like someone who's been running on fumes for months. He doesn't sleep. He barely speaks. And when he does, it's like he's dragging words out of a grave. And don't get me started on the rumors. New school, same bullshit. Isn't that the guy who sent someone to the ICU? Didn't someone die because of him? High school students can be vultures with better skin. And Park Ji-hoon? Forget everything you thought you knew about idol actors. He doesn't need to cry or scream. His silence is louder than anything. That dead-eyed stare? That's not acting cute or cool. That's a kid who's been emotionally waterboarded. His entire performance says, I'm not okay, but I'm too numb to say it out loud. It's terrifyingly good. Fresh start? Yeah, right. Si-eun transfers to Eunjang High thinking maybe, just maybe, he can disappear into the wallpaper and quietly rot in peace. Spoiler alert, Unjang doesn't do peace. Unjang chews up quiet kids, spits them out, and uses their bones as chairs. This school is chaos with a zip code. Forget teachers. They've clocked out mentally and physically. Here, the only rule is, you either throw hands, or you get stomped into next week. And at the top of this teenage hellscape? Two absolute monsters you will not forget, Na Baekjin and Jeom Sung-jae. Baekjin is the kind of guy you pray you never owe a favor to. Ice cold. Brain built for world domination. He could run $1 billion empire, or a cult that convinces you to sell your kidneys, and honestly, you'd probably say thank you. Sung-jae though? Walking rage issue. One look at him and you just know he's 2 seconds away from either laughing at you or breaking your face, and he's fine with either outcome. You hear his name, you flinch. That's by design. That's the vibe. And together? They run the union, aka the student mafia. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill bullying crap. This is organized crime with homework on the side. And Si-eun? Poor bastard. He wants nothing to do with it. He really, truly tries to keep his head down. Problem is, his reputation kicks down the door before he even sets foot inside. That's the guy who puts someone in a coma. That's the one who doesn't back down. You can almost see the sharks circling. Soon enough, he's pulled into a war that's way bigger, way messier, and way more dangerous than anything he's faced before. Even in a place like Unjang, where loyalty's basically a death sentence, and trusting someone is just asking to get wrecked, somehow, Si-eun starts building a new crew. First up, Seo Juntae. Soft-spoken. Anxious. Looks like he'd crumble if you sneeze too hard near him. But give it a minute, and you'll see it. There's steel under all that fear. He doesn't want to throw fists. He just wants to live without looking over his shoulder every 5 seconds. And Si-eun? He doesn't pity him. He doesn't play savior. He just stands beside him. And honestly, sometimes that's all it takes for someone to finally stand up. Then there's Park Ji-hoon, aka Human Serotonin. Always cracking dumb jokes, poking at Si-eun, acting like he's just here for the vibes. But when the fists fly, this man transforms. Precise. Brutal. Calm as hell. Like Suho's sunnier, more chaotic twin brother if he'd been raised by clowns and assassins. And let's be real, Ji-hoon and Si-eun have serious Batman and Superman energy. Side note, Ryan and Park Ji-hoon? Absolutely killing it with the chemistry here. Could watch them roast and ride for each other for 8 more seasons, no problem. And then we've got Go Hyun-tak, the chess player. The guy who's 10 moves ahead while everyone else is still trying to figure out where the pieces go. Quiet. Strategic. He's not flashy, but he's the one who keeps the whole damn group from falling apart when things get ugly, which, spoiler alert, is often. At first, Si-eun? He does everything he can to push them away. Because he's still carrying that giant, festering, soul-crushing guilt over Suho and Byum-suk. Letting people in? Feels like setting them up to get hurt. Again. But here's the magic. This crew doesn't break down his walls with some cringy anime friendship speeches. They do it the slow, messy, beautiful way. Shared bruises. Cursed cafeteria food. Late-night conversations where no one says the right thing, but somehow everything still gets said. It's not the old trio. It's not Suho and Byum-suk. That chapter? Dead and buried. But this? This feels like a second shot at something real. And this time? Si-eun's not letting it slip through his fingers. Of course, it's not a true coming-of-age in pain story without villains who make your blood boil and freeze at the same time. And man, does Season 2 deliver. First up, Park Ji-hoon. Cool. Calculated. Cold-blooded. He's not your typical bully swinging fists because his daddy didn't hug him enough. Park Ji-hoon's a chess master. He wins without raising his voice, without breaking a sweat, hell, sometimes without even standing up. He's the kind of guy who makes you destroy yourself and smiles while you do it. And the worst part? You can't help but see it. This is what Si-eun could become if he ever decided to just stop giving a damn. No heart. No hesitation. Just survival, pure and simple. That's what makes Park Ji-hoon scary. He's not just a villain. He's a goddamn mirror. And then there's GM Sung-jae. Oh boy. If Park Ji-hoon is the slow burn, thinking man's villain, Sung-jae is the human grenade with the pin already pulled. Wild. Unstable. A walking rage spiral who doesn't do threats, he does damage. Every time he shows up, you're not wondering if violence is about to go down. You're wondering how many bones are about to get snapped. And it's not empty posturing. Sung-jae's fists land hard, and they leave scars, inside and out. Together, Park Ji-hoon and Sung-jae aren't just two bad guys Si-eun needs to outsmart or outpunch. They represent the war raging inside him. Cold survival versus raw, blinding rage. Detach or explode. Which poison do you pick? Season 2 doesn't just throw Si-eun into fights. It drags him into a full-blown identity crisis, one punch at a time. Not everything was perfect. Park Ji-hoon? Chilling. Menacing. But also a bit one-dimensional. You get the sense there's a deep story there, but the show never quite digs into it. Same with GM Sung-jae, he's electric, unpredictable, chaotic, but underdeveloped. They could have been some of the most fascinating villains in recent K-drama history with just a little more backstory and breathing room. Instead, they serve mostly as forces of nature, terrifying, but slightly hollow. Still, the cast's performances carry it. Even when the writing doesn't go deep enough, you feel the menace. Look, if you came to Weak Hero Class 2 expecting some flashy, Marvel movie hand-to-hand combat, buddy, you're about to get bodied by reality. The fights here don't dance. They bleed. No hype tracks. No slow-mo hero shots. Just fists slamming into flesh, bones cracking against brick walls, and that sick, gut-wrenching moment when you realize, oh shit, this kid might actually die. And in the middle of it all? Si-eun. Now, he's never been the strongest in the room. In fact, most of the time he's up against people who are faster, stronger, and way more trained. But Si-eun doesn't fight to win, he fights to survive. And that makes him dangerous. He fights dirty. Smart. Scrappy. Walls, tables, chairs, gravity itself, if it's in the room, it's a weapon. And yeah, when the pen comes out, oh, you know he's officially done pretending to be civilized. Because when Si-eun's back is against the wall, that pen isn't just a weapon, it's a statement. That he's done playing nice. That he's not going down without leaving a mark. And the way the show frames these fights? You feel every desperate breath, every shaky, adrenaline-soaked punch. It's not pretty. It's not cinematic. It's real. It's ugly, it's chaotic, it's survival in the rawest form. You're not watching some invincible anime protagonist. You're watching a teenage kid get shoved into hell and claw his way out, one broken rib at a time. And by the end of every brawl, you're not thinking, wow, that was cool. You're thinking, holy shit. I need to lie down. Episode 7 doesn't come at you with fists. It comes with feelings, and it hurts in the best way. Si-eun is on his way to help his friends when he hears the worst. Soo-ho is in critical condition. And before he can process it, he's hit by a car. In the hospital, unconscious and bleeding, he slips into a hallucination, and there waiting for him is someone he's buried deep inside, Beum-suk. What follows is one of the show's most heartbreaking and beautifully written scenes. Beum-suk isn't cruel. He's honest. Sad. Inevitable. We had good times too, didn't we? Are they more important than me? Your new friends, they'll end up like us. And for a moment, Si-eun hesitates. Because deep down, the guilt never left. The part of him that thinks he failed Beum-suk. The part that's terrified he'll fail again. But this time, he doesn't run. I have to go back, he says. Not because it'll be easy. Not because he's sure. But because he finally understands what it means to show up for someone. Beum-suk tries to pull him back, but Si-eun chooses to let go. It's a moment of clarity. Of grace. And in a series built on violence and survival, it's love, not anger, that hits hardest. Episode 7 might not have a lot of fight scenes, but it breaks you. Because Si-eun finally forgives Beum-suk. And more importantly, he forgives himself. Visually, Weak Hero Class 2 continues to impress. The direction is so deliberate, every shot feels purposeful. And those fight scenes? Raw, visceral, and utterly impactful. The lack of glamour, the focus on the brutal reality of violence, it's not entertainment, it's a stark portrayal with a clear underlying warning. But beyond the grit, this season delves into even deeper themes. It unflinchingly shows the consequences of systemic failure, where kids are left to fight their own battles. But it also explores the profound impact of connection, the cost of standing up for what's right, and the long, arduous path of healing. The central message that resonated with me? You don't win by being the strongest, you win by refusing to stop caring, even when it hurts like hell. And the unexpected warmth and genuine camaraderie of the Fantastic Four provide this crucial light in the darkness. Those small moments of laughter, that unspoken understanding, they're the heart of this season. When I say the final fight is epic, I mean it's epic. But what makes it even better is how smart it all is. Si-eun doesn't rush in. He plays it cool, pushes the confrontation back, and quietly sets the board in his favor. He doesn't just prepare to fight, he prepares to win. While everyone's watching the surface, Si-eun spreads the truth. Baekjin siphoned off most of the union's money for himself. The cracks start to show. By the time the day arrives, half the school is ready to turn against the union. It's brilliant. It's patient. It's pure Si-eun. And when the powder keg finally blows? It's chaos, the good kind. The whole school jumps in. It's not clean. It's not choreographed. It's an all-out riot. And right in the middle, Hoomin and Baekjin square off. Hoomin fights with everything he's got. But Baekjin? Baekjin fights like a man who has nothing left to lose. And he's terrifying. Hoo-min goes down hard. And that's when Si-eun steps in. No hesitation. Just brass knuckles, bruises, and pure heart. He's exhausted. Running on fumes. Barely standing. But he fights anyway. It's scrappy. It's desperate. It's ugly, and it's perfect. Because Si-eun isn't trying to take Park Ji-hoon down by himself. He's buying time. Holding on by his fingernails. Giving Hoo-min the chance he needs. It's a brutal, beautiful payoff. No flashy heroics. No perfect victories. Just survival, loyalty, and the messy, painful business of earning your future. Weak Hero Class 2 isn't just a follow-up. It's an evolution. It took the gritty intensity of Season 1 and layered it with emotional depth, heartbreak, and hope. Was it perfect? No. I would have loved more villain backstory, more downtime with the Central 4, maybe a few more episodes to really let it breathe. But you know what? None of that mattered when I was crying over a simple handshake, or a shared smile, or a bruised kid finally realizing he doesn't have to fight alone. This show made me feel. It made me care, deeply, fiercely, about these broken, beautiful kids. And for that, Weak Hero Class 2 absolutely wins. If you loved Season 1, or if you just want a story that's brutal, beautiful, and full of heart, you need to watch this. Weak Hero stays winning.